Saul, after he had disobeyed God, God told him to go down and destroy and kill and leave nothing alive. And Saul disobeyed God, and he kept back the best of things, claiming he's going to offer sacrifice unto God. Well, that wasn't what God told him to do. And later on, Saul repented, and he asked Samuel to pray for him that God might accept him once again. And Saul cried out to God and sought it with tears, but God had rejected Saul from being king over Israel. Although he had repented of what he did, the forgiveness would not restore the kingdom unto him. For God had tried to take the kingdom from him and give it to another, a man after his own heart. And he gave the kingdom of Israel unto David. And of course, that was several years before that happened. But God had removed Saul from being king over Israel. God had made that decision. Then Simon answered, said, pray for me. Pray ye for the Lord for me, that none of these things which ye have spoken come upon me. And they, when they, and when they had, and when they had testified and preached the word of the Lord, returned to Jerusalem and preached the gospel in many villages of Samaria. And the angel of the Lord spake unto Philip, saying, arise and go toward the south, unto the way thou goest down from Jerusalem unto Gaza, which is in the desert. And he arose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, a eunuch of great authority, under Candace, the queen of Ethiopia, who had charge of all her treasure. And he had come to Jerusalem for to worship, was returning, and sitting in a chariot, read Isaiah the prophet. Then the Spirit came unto Philip, go near, join yourself to this chariot. And Philip ran thither to him, and heard him read the prophet Isaiah, and said unto him, understandest thou what thou readest? And he said, how can I, except someone teach me and guide me? And Philip, he would come up and sit with him. The place of the scripture where he read, he was led as a sheep to the slaughter, like a lamb before his shearers. So he opened not his mouth. In his humiliation, his judgment was taken away. And who shall decree his generations? For his life is taken from the earth. And the eunuch answered Philip and said, I pray thee, of whom spake this prophet? He wants to know, who's this talking about? Then Philip opened his mouth and began at the same scripture and preached unto him Jesus. And as he went on their way, there came upon a certain water. And the eunuch said, see, here is water. What does hinder me from being baptized? And Philip said, if thou believest with all thine heart, thou mayest. And he answered and said, I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. And he commanded the chariot to stand still. And they went down, both of them, into the water, both Philip and the eunuch, and he was baptized. And when they were come up out of the water, the Spirit of the Lord caught away Philip, that the eunuch saw him no more. And he went on his way rejoicing. But Philip was found at Azotus, and passing through, he preached in all the cities till he came to Caesarea. And Saul breathing out threatenings. This apostle Paul was a bad man. And Saul breathing out threatenings and slaughter against the disciples of the Lord, went unto the high priest and desired of him letters to Damascus, to the synagogue, that if he found any on the way, whether they were men or women, that he might bring them bound unto Jerusalem. Isn't that amazing?